time flies. Time flies. And I think one day, I think you will regret if you don't reach what you can reach.
Deliberately deep for Eriksson. Back to Ali. Ali, what a goal! Sensation!
England is currently enjoying an abundance of exceptional young talent in world football. However, not too long ago, the prospect of nurturing world-class talent for the national team was uncertain. Presently, Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden stand out as top contenders for the title of the best young player in the world. Not to forget, talents like Bukayo Saka, Kobe Mainoo, and Cole Palmer have all become vital players for both club and country. If we turn back the clock to just 10 years ago, the picture was not so rosy for England. Jack Wilshere and Raheem Sterling stood out as the shining talents in the squad that made an early exit from the 2014 FIFA World Cup after just 2 group stage matches. The national team was in serious need of new talent as iconic players like Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard bid farewell to their international careers. By the time the next tournament rolled around, Dele Alli had become one of the key players that was expected to lead England to glory, following an impressive debut season at Tottenham Hotspurs, where he scored double-digit goals in the Premier League. Although England's summer ended in a disappointing defeat to Iceland, Alli's participation in 3 of England's 4 matches at Euro 2016 signified a significant milestone in his journey to the top. In the 2016-2017 season, Alli delivered a stellar performance by scoring 22 goals in 50 games for Spurs. His partnership with Harry Kane, set up by Mauricio Pochettino, was nothing short of spectacular, leading Spurs to their best league finish since 1963. Despite gaining worldwide attention, Alli struggled to meet the high expectations set for him. A creative player with a special set of skills that's hard to define, a winner of multiple Young Player awards, and a talent fans looked forward to watching for years to come. So, where did it all go wrong? Above all else, what's next for Dele Alli? But before we continue on with the video, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. Now let's get into it. Well, let's start with Dele Alli's beginnings. Dele Alli's upbringing was far from easy. However, when you learn about the challenges he faced and compare them to his remarkable achievements, it becomes clear that his critics might need to rethink their stance. Dele Alli was born in 1996 in Milton Keynes to a Nigerian father and an English mother. Unfortunately, his upbringing was marked by significant challenges. His father moved to the United States shortly after his birth, and his mother struggled with alcohol abuse, leaving Alli and his siblings with no real parental support. Formal education took a backseat for young Alli. Instead, he found a sense of focus and purpose in playing football on the streets, and in turn, the neighborhood fields became his classroom. These days, almost every kid that we see at an elite academy has been part of the footballing system as early as 5 or 6 years of age. Dele Alli, on the other hand, did not enter the system until he was 11 years old. Despite being a late bloomer, his time spent on the streets prepared him for the challenges ahead. On the pitch, his rise was rapid, debuting for the MK Dons, his local club in League One, at just 16 and becoming a first-team regular by 17. He consistently impressed with his performances. Manchester United would likely prefer to forget their notorious 4-0 loss to MK Dons in the 2014-15 League Cup, a particularly embarrassing post-Fergie defeat. Dele Alli was on the pitch that day. This performance was part of a series of standout displays that gained significant attention, drawing comparisons to Steven Gerrard and attracted plenty of interest from scouts. By the end of that year, Alli had earned the League One Young Player of the Year award. His next destination, at just 18 years old, was Tottenham Hotspurs. According to Alli, at the start of the 2015-16 season, his debut year for Spurs, his goal was to start just 10 matches in the Premier League. However, Spurs quickly recognized the exceptional talent they had on their hands. By January 2016, just months after signing, Alli was rewarded with a new and improved long-term contract. By the end of that season, he had made 28 starts, with 33 overall appearances, scoring 10 goals and providing 9 assists. Spurs became legitimate title contenders for the first time in a very long time. Alli became a crucial part of Pochettino's team and capped off his remarkable season by winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award. In the few years to follow, his career went even higher. He won consecutive PFA Young Player of the Year awards, delivered a series of unforgettable performances, and scored multiple pivotal goals. This remarkable journey was awarded with a historic performance in the 2019 Champions League finals. Being part of a Tottenham Hotspur's team that reached the Champions League final not only increased his legion of fans, it further solidified his status as a rising star. Well, that's until he was not. Alli failed to match his previous season's goal-scoring performance, but remained a crucial player at Spurs. He continued to make significant contributions and represented England in 5 out of 7 matches at the 2018 FIFA World Cup, notably scoring in the quarterfinal against Sweden. Even with a good few performances here and there, the signs of decline were starting to show. Not only was there a decline in his performances, the sacking of Pochettino and Spurs' subsequent appointment of Jose Mourinho as manager in 2019 would further complicate life for the young talent. Alli's relationship with Mourinho never appeared to get off the ground, and it was during the Portuguese time in North London that Alli contemplated giving up on football.
Probably the saddest moment for me was when Mourinho was manager. I think I was 24. And I remember there was one session, like one morning I woke up, I had to go training. This is when he'd stopped playing me. And I was in a bad place, and I remember just looking in the mirror. I mean, it sounds dramatic, but I was literally staring in the mirror. And I was asking if I could retire now. At 24, you know, doing the thing I love. For me, that was heartbreaking.
It's no secret that Poch and Alli had a great working relationship, with Alli being a valued member of his first team. After 5 years with the club, it is no surprise that the two shared a close bond, and adjusting to a new manager and regime would pose a significant challenge. However, for some reason, many of the conversations that should include that fact only seem to focus on Alli and his isolation from the team, as many of Tottenham's players struggled during that same period. Of course, injuries are an undeniable factor that impacted his performances during the 2018-19 season. Despite initially performing well, a series of injuries plagued him, leading to a disjointed season. Consequently, his form suffered a decline. Ever since then, he struggled to play more than 25 matches in a season for Spurs. It's easy to come to the conclusion that this is where it all fell apart, but I don't think it's that simple. Especially considering how Alli quickly clashed with Jose Mourinho upon his appointment as the Spurs manager. Amazon's All or Nothing documentary on Spurs provided multiple memorable moments that indicated a soured relationship. Although many might agree with Mourinho's rhetoric that Dele Alli needed to change his attitude and that he had lost his way, it's important to note that early in his career, Alli was widely regarded as one of the fittest and most determined players on any team. The reasons for this decline remain unclear. Whether it was due to complacency or other factors, we may never fully understand. Returning to the pitch, the final theory might be the simplest explanation for his decline. The game evolved, and he failed to adapt. Dele Alli is a player whose style of play provided him with the freedom to influence the game. In recent years, the game has evolved towards a system-based approach, where each player is assigned a specific and well-defined role. Simply put, Dele Alli's position is not very prominent in England. When Tottenham were competing for the title, they were operating within a perfect storm. The pace and directness of Son, the accuracy and strength of Kane, the composure and creativity of Eriksen, and the positioning and skill of Alli all contributed to a system that maximized his strengths. Crucially, having a playmaker like Eriksen, Alli had the encouragement to find space. Given that his skill set didn't allow him to transition into a pure striker, striker or midfielder, the departure of Eriksen, Pochettino, and the dissolution of his perfect storm significantly impacted his game. Referring back to his Sky Sports interview with Gary Neville, Alli disclosed that he had been a victim of childhood sexual abuse. He shared that he had resorted to using sleeping tablets and alcohol as coping aids to escape from reality. However, after eventually recognizing his situation, he took the courageous step of admitting himself into rehab in 2023. By this time, Alli had already departed from Tottenham and embarked on a new chapter at Everton Football Club in January of 2022. His impactful contribution off the bench during Everton's remarkable comeback victory against Crystal Palace in May of that same year not only showcased his talent, but also played a crucial role in securing Everton's stay in the Premier League. However, that remains the only high point of his Everton career to date, and he has only played 3 times for the Toffees since that match. After a short and disappointing spell at Everton, Alli was sent back to Besiktas in Turkey on loan over a year ago. Since his heartfelt interview with Neville, Alli has not featured in any matches, having undergone separate surgeries on his hip and groin over the past year. As of the summer of 2024, Everton and Tottenham have come to an agreement where Everton will not be obligated to pay any additional fee for Dele Alli if they decide to extend his contract. Alli, who is currently a free agent, has started light training sessions with Everton. As part of the deal that saw Alli transfer from Tottenham to Everton in January of 2022, Tottenham were to receive a substantial fee in the event that the 28-year-old midfielder signed a new contract with Everton at Goodison Park. Currently a free agent, Alli will be given the chance to prove himself in pre-season, though he's not quite ready to resume full training with the first team. In all honesty, the truth is probably a combination of these reasons, along with others we may not have mentioned. Having considered his mental state and personal circumstances, which rightly so have impacted his career, we can only hope the future is bright for Dele Alli, even he is not giving up on himself. So, is Dele Alli truly back? Will a top club take a chance on this talent? As always, please share your thoughts in the comment section. And thank you for watching.